watching. So if you're watching after the live, we're just gonna wait a few minutes before we start diving in to all the details. Um, but we're gonna be talking about Turtle Man 2, the famous Turtle Man Classic event. It's a charity event. It's going on this Saturday in Connecticut. It's gonna be a charity event. It's for a great cause. Um, Also, too, we'll be talking about the first ever Dungeon Supermatch series. It's going to be Friday, the day before. It's going to be the matches start at noon. The first match will be at noon. Um, Recently, I've been doing lives before the lifts. If you haven't watched, I've been doing lives before my lifts in the morning. We'll also be talking about. We have 9 incredible matches on the Dungeon Super Series. There is 20, I think 21 athletes total for this event. So we got legends on the card, up and comers. We got people that want to prove themselves on the table. We have local heroes. We have we even have a boxer. We got a boxer on the card. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. We also have t-shirts, the Turtle Man t-shirts. The green shirt over there, that's a shirt from last year. We have shirts. They will be here. They should be here tomorrow. Been tracking the order. They will be here tomorrow. But they're going fast. Some sizes are running low. We've been doing pre-orders. They go for $30. So if you want to guarantee you get one of the shirts, there's only 100 of them. So I would definitely recommend doing a pre-order. If not, you could definitely, take your chances at the tournament. But some sizes are running low. I can't remember exactly. It's either the extra large or the large. I can't remember. Smalls are running low too, I think, which is odd because last year we barely sold any smalls. So it's interesting. So if you're interested in the pre-orders, if you don't have my number, you could shoot me a message on Facebook, Nicholas Stone, or Instagram, _TeamStone777. But yeah, if you guys have any questions for me about the events, about the weekend of arm wrestling, it's gonna be crazy. Friday and Saturday is planned out. Sunday is it's right now it's just open. We might have some more activities Sunday, but we're gonna we'll decide after the tournament kind of thing. I gotta double check. I think most people are leaving Sunday, but if some of the athletes stay around, we'll do some YouTube stuff. Maybe it was a couple of restaurants. Maybe we can go out to a restaurant or something. But it's gonna be fun. So keep that in mind. I mean, it's a full weekend of arm wrestling, and it's 3-day weekend: Friday, Saturday, and most likely we'll have something going on Sunday. So it's gonna be a good time. I hope everyone watching right now. If you don't know, you should know. This Saturday is the 2nd annual Turtle Man Classic charity arm wrestling event. It's going to be at Steel Beach Gym. The event starts at noon. What's up, Martin? Martin says Monday. Hey, what's up? Is your name AB or is it Ab? Either way, I appreciate you saying hi. If you guys don't know, this Saturday is the 2nd annual Turtle Man Classic and CT States. charity arm wrestling event. I would say if you're in the Connecticut area, I would definitely recommend um, checking it out. We'll have, all experience levels are welcome, from first timers um, to the best of the best. You know, uh, we'll have categories for everybody: novice, amateur, semi, and pro. Oh, well, AB says today is Monday in my country. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Monday here too. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's a good day for a Monday. Um, Also, too, uh, the day before the tournament, Friday at noon, is the first ever Dungeon Supermatch series. What's up, Farmer Jim? Thanks for watching. Hey, you know who usually does good in arm wrestling? Is farmers. Farmers usually do pretty good. So that being said, you should definitely come down to Connecticut this Saturday. Steel Beach Gym. There's a giant tournament going on. There's a charity tournament for a great cause. Um, Definitely come out. Even if it's your first time, we have a category for you where you will only be facing people that it's also their first time. You know, so it should be good. Should be good. When I first started arm wrestling, um, there wasn't. Maybe there was, but I don't remember seeing the semi-pro class, or usually what there was two classes, amateur or novice, depending on what they called in a pro. Now there's four, usually four. So the novice, amateur, semi, and professional. Well, Keon, I can't read that first one, but I appreciate the hi. Well, what's up, James? We're just talking about some stuff. We're getting everyone amped up. If you guys don't know, James Roden Mason is one of the athletes on the card. He's going against a pretty tough opponent, but it should be interesting, His opponent is Tim Lewis. Tim Lewis is a last-second fill-in. He was originally supposed to pull Peasley, but Peasley is not able to make it for his own reasons. So that being said, I'm excited for this match. Hey, Carolyn, good morning. Carolyn said it right, get your pay-per-view in the membership. So the pay-per-view for the Friday event is going to be on this channel. The first match will be available Sunday night, and then every single day. So Sunday will be one match, Monday will be one match. Every single day for 9 days will be a match. It's going to go for $9.99. Where that money is going to go to. YouTube takes a chunk. I don't know exactly. I think it's like 30%. So whatever's left from what YouTube takes, we are going to give some to the athletes. We're going to give some to the referees, and we're going to give the rest to the charity. Hey, what's up, LOL? LOL says LOL. I appreciate that, Carolyn. Carolyn says, let's share Nick's live out. I'd definitely be appreciative. I definitely appreciate that, Carolyn. I always appreciate you spreading the word and saying good things. I don't know if you saw the live, but we were saying some good things about you yesterday, so it's good stuff. James says the best in Vermont. He's the best at 220, and I even hear he's the best in the supers. So he must be doing something right. He must be doing something right. But James, I know I asked you before, how you feeling for your match with Tim? Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. James says the pay-per-view is going to be sick. Yeah, man. I'm excited. We got a good camera crew. As of right now, we have 4 camera guys. So I think we'll be able to. I think we'll have a really good pay-per-view. I think the events, the cameras are good. One of the guys, one of the cameramen is going to work with me to do the editing. So it's going to be good. It's going to be higher quality than the normal Stone TV. So it's going to be good. James says, do you know the order of the matches? I'm still working on it. The only matches I know for sure right now will be for in person. It will be my match will be first, but that match will be in the pay-per-view. It's going to be played either last or second to last. The second match will be the ladies, and the last match is going to be Passmore versus Bear. That's going to be the last match. James, you got a preference? You prefer earlier? You prefer later? What would you rather pull? You'd rather pull early? Let me know. You know, I still time. I can, if you have a preference, I could work that in. But the only matches I know right now for the in person, my match will be first. This way, we have some new rules. So this way, if there's any potential problems, we'll be able to make adjustments for the other athletes. But also, this way, I can kind of focus on one thing at a time. You know, I can go from arm wrestling to back to a promoter, if that makes sense, to make sure the event's running right. Let's see. How do you Imtiz? Is that how you say your name? I appreciate you watching. He said he got a pink hand waving. So it's nice of you. Thanks for watching. Let's see. I don't know if you know this, but this Saturday, second annual Turtle Man Classic, and Friday is the first ever Dungeon Supermatch series. If you're a fan of arm wrestling, or even if you just want to check it out, see what's up, I would highly recommend checking it out. Let's see. So you know what? While James is in here, let's start with his match. So originally, his first opponent, I would say, are pretty similar styles, both very quick. But now, since his original opponent wasn't able to make it, Tim stepping up, I like to look at this as like the battle of the bullet versus the bulletproof vest. You know, I would think one athlete definitely wants the match to stay dynamic, wants to move, wants it to be fast, and the other athlete definitely wants it to be static. He wants it to be stationary. He wants it to be long, drawn out. So I'm excited. You know, I think both these athletes are good, very good, very. You know, Tim has the experience in terms. You know, he must have 100 super matches by now. You know, he does one every 3 or 4 days. You know, he just had one last weekend. Let's see, James. He says, I think I should be early to get the pay-per-view off to do a good start. Yeah, man, we could do that. Actually, today I'm gonna write down the matches. I can't remember. James, did I ask you for your intro song? I can't remember if I asked you for your intro song, but if I can't remember, I think I did. But if not, what's your intro song? But if you already sent me a message, don't worry about it, because I'm gonna go through and you know, write it all down. You know, he says he says at first glance I thought it was Eddie Hall. You know, the funny thing is I think Eddie Hall said the same thing, last week. He said, "Oh man, someone's commented on his channel." He goes, "Isn't that Nick Stone?" He goes, "Oh no, it's just Eddie." You know, but it's funny. It's funny how those happen. You know, but I appreciate the comment. You know, thanks for watching. But that being said, I still think you should get down to Connecticut September 6th for the second annual Tournament Classic. Oh boy, James says he's taking turtles home. It's not going to be easy, James. I think everybody on the planet wants to get those golden turtles. Now, this is just a demo. This is just a demo. This is not the real thing. The real thing, solid gold, but this is just a demo. So these are the golden turtles, the famous golden turtles. There's only one place on earth to get them, and that is September 6th at Steel Beach Gym. Carolyn says, I wonder if Tim is doing the tournament. I guess we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see how the super match goes. If not, there's always the other arm. Even if there's an injury or something, there's always the left arm. But I think Tim is pretty close. So I don't know if he's staying or if he's driving both, there and back. But I would think Tim would do the tournament. He likes to arm wrestle. Oh, okay. Yeah. So as long as you let me know by tomorrow morning, that'd be cool. Because I'm gonna have one of the guys on the team is helping me with some of the technology stuff. So I definitely appreciate the help. So if you can get that song over to me by tomorrow morning, that'd be perfect. San Diego, 1904, Steel Beach Gym. So yes, it's the tournament. This Turtle Man 2, the Turtle Man Classic, the charity tournament is going to be located at Steel Beach Gym in Oakville, Connecticut. The event starts at noon, but if you want to compete, you need to be there sometime between 8 a.m. and 11, because once 11:01 comes, that's the cutoff for signups and weigh-ins. Now, this is going to be depending on the time and if possible. Say if someone does show up, there is a slight possibility we'll be able to put you in the tournament, but there will definitely be a late fee. What that late fee is for is if it holds up the tournament, it's out of respect for people's time that showed up on time. So this way, a little, something good might come out of it, a little more money for the charity. Hey, what's up, Vincent? Time to eat. This weekend, there'll be lots and lots of eating, Everyone's hungry. And it should be good, man. Good morning, too, man. Vincent, you going to you gonna make it to the matches too, or are you not able to make it both days? But I think you said you're going to you said you're going to the tournament. I can't remember if you said you're going to Turtle Man or if you're busy. I can't remember. Yeah, man. Vincent says you guys are boosting me up. Yeah, man. You're people call you the Wild Man. What do they call you? The Mountain Man. That's what it was. So that's good, man. I hope you too can. I hope you can make it too. It would be great to have you. It'd be great to see you and your team down there. You guys are a good group of guys, and gals. I think you guys have a pretty good female team, don't you? You have at least, for most teams, because females are, usually if you have one or two females on a team, that's a lot of ladies. We only have, as of right now, in the Connecticut team, we only have one lady on the team. But yeah, definitely, it's growing, man. It's growing. I'm trying to. I feel like a matter of time, the ladies, the sport of arm wrestling on the ladies' side will definitely be bigger. Let's see. James Rhodes says I, or is that a 1? But I don't think that's an I. Oh, that's pretty good. Four ladies. That's 4 times what we got. So that's a pretty good team. It's kind of. I mean, it's good. There's pros and cons. So like Sayla, when she shows up, she's always got to arm wrestle the guys. Which there's definitely pros to cons. But it would definitely it'd probably be a lot more fun, I would think, if there was another lady on the team she can kind of, go back and forth with. It'd be interesting. It'd be very interesting. Oh boy, how much weight you gotta cut, Vincent? How much do you weigh right now? What do you gotta cut? 140 pounds or something? If you're doing that by Saturday, I would recommend maybe not doing that by Saturday, mostly for health reasons. But hey man, if 325, we might be the same weight. I might be heavier. I'll find out how much I weigh this Friday. I haven't stepped on a scale in I don't know, since the last match. So we'll see if I'm heavier or lighter. But yeah, man, if you can, if somehow if you were able to get down to 220, I mean, I don't know how you would feel, but your frame alone would probably be a big problem for that class. Carolyn says, "No wonder Kyla is so good and youth on her side. She's extremely powerful. She's dropping weight for this match. She usually walks around at 150, but she's coming down to 140. Candy is coming up to, she usually walks around 130. She's going up to 140. So it's gonna be very interesting. I'm very excited for this ladies match. I keep on. I like to look at this as the classic battle of power versus technique. Now I'm not saying Candy is weak by any means, but what I'm saying is Candy definitely has the experience advantage. Kyla might have the power, might have the power advantage, but there's only one way to find out. That is September 5th, in person or the pay-per-view. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Could always be more huge. Always could be maybe the heavy. I think the heaviest I ever weighed was like 342, and that was when I had a. That wasn't good weight. I was on this medicine, and it just made me like swell up like a balloon. Um, but the heaviest I've been feeling good is usually around. I think 333 is the heaviest I've ever weighed in a competition without, that medicine blowing me up with which is water weight, just holding on the water or whatever. But maybe I will break the record this Friday because I'm feeling pretty big. I've been training extremely hard. I've been pretty much eating anything that is not nailed down. The other day, a squirrel walked by, and I walked a little too close, and next thing you know, I had a couple squirrel nuggets. But let's see. James Road Mason says you got Peasley. Yeah, man, he could have them because we don't want him on the team anymore. So if you guys are taking new teammates, we'll send you. You can have them. We'll take any other. We'll take any other athlete as a trade. Just like in baseball. Yeah, let me know. Let me know if that's something you guys would like to trade for. Because I'll take pretty much anyone. Um, yeah, he's all jokes aside. He's definitely a good puller. He is the. Uh, it's interesting. It's very interesting. I'm trying, man. I've been trying to get Vincent says got to get those little guys to bulk up. I've been trying, man. The Tuesday team, the guys that come over my place and train, if you take my body weight out of the equation, the average body weight is probably 160 pounds. If you add me in there, it might go up to maybe 180. But I've been trying for years, man. I've been trying for years to get these guys to gain weight. Um, I've been trying so hard. We're actually even having a cookout this Tuesday. Because the tournament is this Saturday. People won't be practicing too hard, so we're gonna do a little cookout. And want to see if we can get those guys from 160 to maybe I like to see them at like 275. I keep on telling them 275 is a good number, but we'll see. The old Carolyn's got the old turtles with the muscles, the classic turtle man symbols. Vince says gotta eat. Yeah, man. If you get shooting for 280, if you get the 280, you'd probably be lean and mean. Probably have some more speed. Squirrel, the match of the season. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a compliment, I guess. If you enter the sport and all of a sudden all the super heavyweights just start dropping weight because they don't want to pull you, take that as a compliment. Take that as a compliment. It might be a little frustrating because you have less opponents, but take that as a compliment. Yeah, Carolyn, the secret force feeding barbecue. I have like this like those things they inject turkeys with the flavors, but I've been injecting all the burgers are injected with weight gainer. The stuff they give the chickens to make them huge, real fast. So I'm expecting these guys to get huge real fast. Speed's hard to deal with. I take James. I don't know what's going on. Is he on your team? Because we need real certified team members. Just arm wrestler too. They got to be an arm wrestler, not just a weightlifter. So keep that in mind. James Road Mason says Peasley is the man. Some days he's the man. Some days he's the woman. It depends on how he's feeling. It's 2025. Oh man. But all right. Let's see. So let's start with let's talk about time frame. So Friday, athletes, we'd like you athletes to show up around 10. Same thing with spectators. If you guys should show up around 10, 10:30. Definitely no later than 11. Because once 11 comes, we'll be working with the athletes, doing the rules, stuff like that. So Carolyn says, I made a super chat to Dexter Tan last night, and he didn't read it. I said Nick Stone versus Levon, maybe Dexter and Nordic, because is Levon GVW. Yeah, man, that's upsetting. They should at least read it, but I would have read it. So, but I definitely appreciate Carolyn. I definitely appreciate you, spending your hard-earned money to, try to help me out, spread the word. I definitely appreciated that. Thank you very much. But Levon, is he? Is he? Did he move over to Georgia versus the World? Is he still with East versus West? But I would think athletes should be able to do. I mean, as long as they didn't sign a contract, I would think they should be able to compete in more than one league. Because there's only so many matches. There's only so many matches they can put on one time. So there's always going to be, people that don't have aren't able to pull, but want to pull. Yeah, Carolyn, I agree. I think Carolyn says, heck, creating your own super series is the best. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. To be honest, I'm having a lot of fun. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. I like. I'm excited for the rules we're using. I think there's potential because they're very new. There might be some potential problems, but if there is, my match will be first, so we'll be able to get all the bugs out so the other athletes won't have any problems. But I'm excited for these rules. I think it's going to be good for fans. I think it's going to be great for the refs. I think it's going to be great for the athletes. Um, I think it's going to be the best of both worlds, the best of the entertainment side, but also the best of the traditional side. I agree. I agree, Carolyn. I appreciate that. But yeah, that this Dungeon Supermatch series, it's either going to be something that grows into something huge, or it's going to be the first and last. But I think it's gonna grow into something big. Um, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, so we're asking athletes, referees get there around 10. Spectators, people that bought tickets, uh, try to get there before 11, definitely, because we have to. Oh, I missed some. I think I missed the chat. What's up? Worst case Ontario. What's up, man? I don't remember. The name sounds familiar. Your username sounds familiar, but I can't remember if I know your real name or not. But hey, man, thanks for watching. Um, so worst case Ontario says, I remember when Igor was the devil for having contracts. Now everyone is on the other side of the fence saying contracts are a great thing now. I think they're. I think that's. I think there's pros and cons. I think if there's contracts, I think they should be single. Um, I think the majority of contracts should be single match contracts. So per event contracts. You know, I guess the reason why I lean towards that is like, say if something happens and the whatever promotion it is just stops putting on matches, but they don't, you know, uh, they don't. They're still around, but they don't put on matches. You won't be able to compete. So I think they should be single event contracts. Um, Out of the 4 matches I've done, I've done 3 contracts. The only contract I didn't do was at Knuckles Up. Um, every other match had a single match contract where it just pretty much says you're going to be here at this day, you're going to perform at this day, kind of thing. And then once the match is over, the contract, it's done. You can move on. Now maybe at a higher level, maybe at the top level, maybe a contract, but I think if you're going to do a contract that locks people in, they're going to have to be, paid kind of like a salary. Maybe I know it's not as much money as in arm wrestling as there is, you know, many other sports. But so let's see. So, worst case, Ontario. The message says it's retracted. Oh, okay, I thought it said restricted, but let's see. Yeah, so we ask you guys to get there before 11. Just way you guys can get parking and stuff like that. Um, the first match is starting at noon on the dot. Um, so keep that in mind. Um, we're gonna do all 9 matches. Once the matches are over and everyone's mind is blown from this crazy event, the High Chief himself is going to give a dungeon tour. The dungeon tour is going to be a tour of the dungeon. It's a place where we train on Saturday. Now, if you don't know the dungeon, all I'm going to say is it's pretty much an arm wrestling museum. Once you see it, you'll know why. There's stuff from I want to say as early as the 80s, maybe even more earlier, but definitely the 80s, all the way up until now. Stuff from John Brzenk, Crazy George, Travis, Tim Breslin, Vovoda, all the legends, Um, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Um, Once the tour is done, if it's gonna be we're gonna do after pulls. The after pulls will go until probably about 6:30. Probably 6:30 ish. Like the only thing locked in are the start times. Once we finish up, have the matches, do the museum, have the after pull. So if you guys want to pull with these athletes, we got legends. We got some incredible strong athletes, very smart athletes. If you guys want to pull with these athletes, your first opportunity is after the super matches and the museum tour. But the only way to be able to get that is you need to get the pay-per-view ticket in person. So that after pull is only available to the people that buy the tickets. If for some reason you're able to make the Friday event, don't worry. There's a pay-per-view, and we're planning on having an after pull after the tournament too. So now not everyone will be there from the super matches. Some people are leaving, but some people should be there. So keep that in mind. I'll be there. Most people will probably pull in the tournament. Oh, let's see. Worst case Ontario says everyone claimed contracts. We're limiting the sport now. If you don't pull East versus West exclusively, you are dividing the sport. Yeah, I guess that's interesting. Yeah. Now that you say that, I kind of remember something like that. But it's tricky. It's very tricky. I still think like all this drama. I mean, I try. I'm not the biggest fan of drama, so I don't really know. I know a little bit that's going on. Like I know the East versus West thing and uh, the Georgia versus the world thing. Um, I think more arm wrestling is better. Um, so that's how I feel. I feel more arm wrestling is better. More opportunities is better. Um, Competition between promoters I think could be a good thing. Because people have to make their event better and better, as long as people aren't doing shady stuff. But that's a great question, James. So Nick, do you think there is something about the Northeast that makes so many legends? There could be. There could be maybe something in the water, maybe something in the air. Maybe it's the right combination of half the year's hot, half the year's cold. It could be lots of things. Maybe there's some crazy people up here that spend their time arm wrestling. Maybe that's all it is, just a little more crazy, maybe. But that's a great question. If anyone else in the chat knows an answer to James' question, let me know in the chat, because that's a good question. Worst case Ontario says, I hope Chief shows off his tape/video collection. I bet there's tons of arm wrestling gyms. Yeah, man, there is tons of stuff. I mean, I don't think he'll be able to show all of it because there's so many DVDs and there might even be some VHS tapes somewhere. We're gonna have to find an old VHS player because I don't know if we have them at the dungeon. But there's DVDs. You're right. There's a bunch of videos. So yeah, it's a great idea. I didn't even think about that. I'll bring up the Chief, see if he has any favorite videos. I appreciate that. It's a good idea. So Vincent says, same as our pizza, James. It's in the water. There's got to be something. There's got to be something in there. Um, so we talked about the museum. We talked about the after pools. Yeah, yeah. The weather up here, the survival of the fittest. I can't remember who used to say this to me all the time. I used to hear it all the time as a kid. He goes, "Oh, the cold keeps the stupid people out because they die." You know, I don't remember who used to tell. I used to hear that all the time as a kid. But I think that's funny. So you're right. The cold keeps all the stupid people out because once winter comes, they probably die. Um, yeah, man. Definitely, the snow definitely does something to people. Like anybody that has to deal with this, bunch of snow has always got that little little bite to them. In a good way. Um, let's see. So I think we talked about the Friday event. Oh well, nope. I take that back. I missed something. So there is early weigh-ins. Early weigh-ins are by appointment only. So, well, if you're at the pay-per-view, we'll do weigh-ins after the matches. So if you buy the tickets, you will have access to the first early weigh-ins for the tournament. Your next opportunity will be Friday night. It will be at Steel Beach Gym when we're setting up. Now, let me be clear. It's by appointment only. So if you show up and I'm not there and you didn't make an appointment, then I won't be able to, I probably won't be able to weigh in. So make sure if you want to do early weigh-ins, um, definitely shoot me a message. Facebook, you have my number. Shoot me a message or Instagram. Oh, Vincent says my daughter. How do you say that name? Imri? Is that Imri? Says hi. Well, everyone say hi to Imri. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing her arm wrestler. She's probably gonna do pretty good. So I'm excited. Best of luck to her. Um, so yeah, the early weigh-ins by appointment. I'll be there around 7 p.m. Um, I got to double check with the gym. There might one of our guys, Bill. If you don't know him, call him Buffalo Bill or Break him Bill, depending on how you know him. He might be there a little earlier. He might be able to do that, but all by appointment only. Uh, I'm Ree. That's a good name. That's a nice name. Don't take any offense to it. I'm not good with the names or reading in general, but I definitely appreciate you watching, little Imri. That's nice of you. Um, so let's see. Kalen says, "Who did you have a super match against?" James Road Mason. Who did you have a super match against in Dexter, Maine? I can't recall your opponent. Hey, don't forget, there's going to be a kids class at the Turtle Man Classic. So if she can make it, she might win herself one of these golden turtles. Who doesn't like turtles and who doesn't like gold? Solid gold. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's solid. Now, this is just a demo. The real ones are much, much nicer. So if you can make it down, maybe she'll win herself a golden turtle. That'd be awesome. All right, that's what we're talking about. Vince says we are fortunate to have a good bunch of kids. September 13th. We have youth polling as well. Um, oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you like the turtles. I think everyone. I haven't heard anybody not like a turtles. They're good stuff. They're a lot of fun, and when they're up on your trophy wall or trophy case, they're gonna stand out. Um, so let's see. Oh, Vincent says she's watching with me. Well, if she's got any questions, um, About Turtle Man of the sport arm wrestling? Let me know. Battle in the Mountains. Okay. What's the location to Battle in the Mountains? Is that the weekend after Turtle Man? 13th? Yeah. Wait. Is that a Sunday? Is that a Sunday? Or is that a Saturday? I may go. If it's, I hope it's Sunday. If it's Sunday, I should be able to make it. I'm going to. I think Saturday. I'm going to go down the weekend after Turtle Man. I'm going to go down to Pennsylvania and pull with um, Storm Chelino. Maybe Paul Lynn will be there, but I think I'm going to go down to Pennsylvania and train with those guys the Saturday after Turtle Man. So it's the 13th. It's the 13th Sunday. If it's a Sunday, I should be able to come up, hang out, have a good time. Saturday. Yeah, okay, all right. I gotta double check. Um, but I'll know by after the tournament if I can make it up on the 13th. So James says, Nick, favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Let's see. My favorite one was, I guess, the blue one. What's it? Leonardo, the blue one. Leonardo. When I was a kid, I liked the swords. I thought he had the coolest weapons. Those big swords. Let's see. Whoops. Some reason I don't know if you're taking them down or if YouTube's taking them down. But worst case Ontario. I was about halfway through that message and it said retracted. Um, Yeah, man, Vincent, that'd be cool. He says, would love to work something out and get you up to pull with us. Would be awesome to collaborate on a big barbecue event. Yeah, man, that'd be cool. I don't know what your days are like during the week. Maybe a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I don't know if what days you guys practice on, but a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I might be able to travel up to. You're from Vermont, right? I might be able to travel up to Vermont. Um, oh, you grew up in Milford, Connecticut. Yeah, that's a nice place. It's a nice place. Um, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see you being from Milford, Connecticut. That's a good thing. The people I know definitely very similar to you in a good way. Um, but yeah, man, shoot me a message. You want to set something up? Shoot me a message. We'll get some training in. I'll see if I can take some of the guys from Connecticut. But usually, at least lately, uh, it's just been a lot of solo trips. So I'll spread the word. The guys are definitely welcome to. If you guys are watching, definitely welcome to join us. Let's see. It just says would be uplifting to get some of the old school kids up. Oh, you know Kurt? Oh, okay. All right. That's cool, man. Yeah, I used to powerlift with Kurt. He used to be one of my competitors. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I still have a higher total. If I'm not mistaken, and he has. I think by now he has like 5 years. I haven't been powerlifting in like 5 years. I've been arm wrestling. So he should be able to beat my total, So if you next time you see Kurt, ask him what his total was, and then ask him what my total was, and let's see. I want to see if he's honest, but I think he'll be honest. Let's see. Oh, you're living in Maine? Okay. How far did you happen to look up the Steel Beach address? How far from your place to Steel Beach? Because I'm pretty close to Steel Beach Gym. Um, So do you happen to know how far your address is from Steel Beach Gym? This way I kind of know how long of a drive it is, you know. Let's see. So let's see. It says worst case Ontario, Easton McCormick out of Nebraska just won Teen WAF Worlds, 6 feet 4, 280 pounds, 18 years old, a beast, and a brick house. Talk about the water. Yeah, man, I saw some videos of him. He's looking jacked. He's looking good. You know, so congratulations to him for winning the WAF. You know, I know that's no easy task, so he must have worked hard for it. So Carolyn says, Vincent, does the Freiburg Fair have an arm wrestling tournament? They might. They might. Oh, 5 hours. So that's a pretty good drive. I'll probably have to, if I'm coming up there, I'll probably stay a night or two or something like that. Yeah, it's doable. It's definitely doable. But it says we are planning at pulling at the Freiburg Fair, Mount Washington Valley Arms. It should be good. Hopefully that's a great tournament. Hopefully you get a great turnout. Let's get some yurts, Vincent says. Now, maybe, what's a yurts? What's a yurts? My first thought that comes to mind, you talking about frozen yogurt? Is that a abbreviation for frozen yogurt? But let's see. What's your favorite band and why is it the Bloodhound Gang? By worst case scenario. Well, I do go through occasional Bloodhound Gang binges. Some of their songs are very funny to me. One of my songs that always cracks me up is "Wish I Was Queer So I Can Get Chicks." It's very, very funny to me. It's a great song. But my favorite band, it depends. You know, when I'm lifting, I like Hatebreed, something like that. Hatebreed is always nice. But like when I'm driving, I usually listen to more chill stuff. You know, like maybe even the Bloodhound Gang. Yeah, so they're funny. You know, they're funny stuff. I like good comedy. You know, so that's good stuff. Let's see. Vincent says no tournament, just promoting the sport. Yeah, man, that's always good. I bet maybe, I don't know if you know anybody in there, but maybe you'll be able to bring a table and just have a practice. You know, maybe you can have a practice. That's always a good way to draw people in, maybe get some new teammates, you know. So maybe keep that in mind. Mongolian yurts, cold weather, big tents with wood stoves. Oh, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Yeah, I don't have one of those, but I'm working on it. I'll get one of those Mongolian yurts. These winter's coming up. It's always nice. Vincent says promoting the mental health resources and youth outreach. So that's always nice. You know, giving support in the community and the the kids and stuff. It's always nice. Yeah, I agree, man. Vincent says the sport of arm wrestling offers so much to our community's youth. Yeah, man, it's good sport. You know, could be a great outlet. You know, for kids. You know, I mean, it's something that's going to train their body. It's something that's going to train their mind, and you know, even their spirit too. It's going to train their spirit. You know, so it's good. It's good for. I think it's good for them too. That's a good choice, Carolyn. These Twin City Pullers, that's a good team up there. Bunch of great people. So you sent up to a good team. Oh, that's what it's called. The safe programs. That's uh, that's good. That's good to know. Um, let's see. So let's go through some of these matches. I think the only one we talked about so far was James and Tim, but we have 8 other matches on this card that are absolutely, me personally as a fan, I am personally very excited for all these matches. Um, I did get a lot of help with with matchmaking, but ultimately, I'm very excited. As a fan, I'm very excited for these matches. Um, so Vince says, I was a kid who fell through the cracks and understand firsthand that benefits and resources it offers youth like myself. I wish I found a gym when I was a kid. Yeah, man, I agree. I think the gym is great for everybody. You know, um, it's the only place where you know 1 pound is the same for everybody. No one really gets no one really gets an advantage or anything like that. It's good. I think it's a good outlet. People can if they got stuff to work off, they can do it in there in a productive way. That's not gonna harm somebody or somebody else or get them in trouble or. But yeah, I agree. I think the gym is great for everybody. And you're doing a good thing. You're doing a good thing helping out all those kids. Um, um, so let's talk about some matches. First match that comes to mind, we talked a little bit. Oh, actually, we did talk about the 2 matches, Kyla and Candy. Next match that comes to mind is Ron, the High Chief Columba, versus Black Ice. Now, this may be, out of all the matches, this match has the most history. There's 15, maybe 20 years of history between these athletes. When Black Ice first started, he was one of Chief's students. He even has one of his original tables that Chief made. Now, they faced many times in the tournament before. Black Ice has never come out on top, but this is different. This is a super match. I know Black Ice is extremely hungry. He's messaged me saying he wants to redecorate the dungeon. He's saying he wants to be the new Chief. And I know Chief is going to defend his home. This is where he eats. This is where he sleeps. It's where he pets his cats. I know Chief definitely is going to defend his home. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a complete fireworks show. And these guys are pulling left and right. So these guys are pulling twice. It's twice the action. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I agree, Carolyn. Carolyn says the High Chief of the Northeast and epicenter of the most highly respected training, the dungeon. Yeah, the dungeon it's a great place. I got very lucky that I just happened to be in the same state. I'm just under an hour away from, which is not, that's a short drive for the sport of arm wrestling. The average drive is probably 5 hours. If you know, you know. Worst case Ontario says, when you take the bevel from my hand, Ron Columba probably. Yeah, definitely. That's what it is. It's a student versus a teacher. I'm very excited. I pulled with both these guys. I went down to Pennsylvania, pulled Black Ice. I mean, Both these guys are fast. They have crazy endurance. It's going to be very interesting, very twisty, mangled, flesh and mangled bone. Not breaking, but like twisty positions. I see twisty positions. Yep, Carolyn knows. She knows. Now, next match, let's stay with the Rons. We got another Ron match on the card. That is Ron the Assassin Ermini versus Bill Sinks. Now, Bill Sinks is a legend of the sport. He's probably more well known, but in our area, Ron Ermini is a legend. Now, I'm very excited for this match. I think this is one of the first matches I thought of when we decided to do the Super Match Series. It's now, if you don't know, Ron Ermini is where I started arm wrestling with. That was my first team for about a year. I trained at Ron Ermini's garage with the CT arm benders. Now, I did pull Bill too at the last tournament. I did some after pulling with him. He's feeling very strong, fast. I'm excited for this match. Now, a lot of people that know Ermini, they don't know him as they've only ever seen him as Ron, Ron, the happy-go-lucky Ron. They haven't seen the Assassin. I've only seen the Assassin one time in the 5 years I've known Ron, and that was at 2020 IFA Worlds. He went undefeated, 2 golds. I don't even think he got slowed down. But that was the only time I ever seen the Assassin in person. Now, that being said, what's happening right now is Ron, I don't think I've ever seen him train this much. This much and this hard. He's pulling extremely violent at practice. He's hitting the weights. So I think the Assassin is going to show up better than ever. Also, Bill, he's going to show up better than ever too. I mean, he's getting better and better. He's, as you know, both these guys get better and better as they age. You know, that's what happens in the sport of arm wrestling. I see this match going 3-2. You know, if I'm being honest, I am not giving my predictions of who I think will win unless it's like something like this, which is I can't tell. I think it's going to be a 3-2 battle to the finish. You know, I think it's going to be crazy. I think the fans are going to be screaming. I even think the people from watching a pay-per-view, I think we'll be able to hear them through the camera. So it's going to be interesting. So worst case, Ontario says, does Ice still pull with that wild foot setup? Now, what do you mean that wild foot setup? I know he puts his leg up on the side, on both, you know, his side of the leg and the opponent's side. So it depends on the angle. But yeah, I've definitely seen him kick that leg up, kind of like a presser, but a top roller, you know? So it's interesting, yeah. So you might see it. If you're not in person, you might see it on pay-per-view, worst case Ontario. But yeah, I'm very excited for this match. I'm very excited. Next match, no particular order. Sam Mitchell versus Brian Malek. One guy is a hooker. They're both hookers. One is more of a not defense. One's more of a supinated shoulder, heavy bicep hooker. The other guy's more of a high hook, maybe even a top roll. Depends on how you look at it. So it should be interesting. Should be very interesting. These guys are meeting at 176 pounds. So it's going to be interesting. Now, these guys are the lightest guys on the card, but I don't think it's going to be, you know, the lightest entertainment. You know, I think they're going to pack just as big as a punch as, you know, a 400-pound guy in terms of entertainment. So I'm excited for this match. Both these guys have been training hard, so it's going to be interesting. So worst case scenario says, plan on doing another dungeon card in the future. Well, the plan right now is this is either going to be the first and last Dungeon Super Series, or it's going to grow into something huge. I I think it's going to grow into something huge. We're already. I think it's going to grow into something huge. So I'm already not planning the next event, but we're kind of setting up this thing. So like, for example, if you win the overall at Turtle Man 2, left or right, you will be guaranteed a spot at the next pay-per-view. So I do think this is going to grow into something big. But if not, first and last. But I do think it's going to grow into something big. And all the future series will be pay-per-views. Let's see. Next match on the card. Let's talk about now. This next athlete's coming up from Georgia, Paul Passmore. He's bringing his wife, Candy. Who has a match with Kyla. He is pulling left and right, but two separate athletes. So let's start with the right arm. His right arm opponent is James Clark. James Clark is extremely strong. He's extremely fast. He might have a little bit of a height advantage, which it may play a factor, because this is the classic battle of a top roller versus a hooker. Now, I do like to see these matches. I like the classic battle of the top roller versus hooker. As a fan, it's fun to watch. Now, I know both these guys have been training hard. I pull James once in a while. He comes down to Mass when I go pull Jerry and Fitzy. He's feeling strong. I mean, there's videos out him pulling with Jerry Caderet, and he's holding his own. So these guys are meeting at 242 pounds, right arm, best of 5. So it's going to be interesting. So worst case. So Carolyn says tongue tied. Worst case Ontario. This project reminds me of Martin Lickus Garage Wreck-It Gym 2021, the inaugural Turtle Man 2, and the Dungeon Super Series. I'm not familiar with. Maybe I am, but I'm not familiar with the Martin Lickus Garage Wreck-It. Maybe I am. Maybe. What are you talking about? The Wreck-It Gym 2021. But yeah, I agree. I think it's going to grow into something big. I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be fun. Either way, it's going to be a fun time, and we're doing something for a good cause. So it's a win-win either way. Next match on the card. Oh, we'll stay with the same athlete. So Paul is pulling lefty as well. His left-hand match will be versus Justin Bear. Justin Bear has been spending some time in boxing. He's taking a trip back over to the arm wrestling world to settle some unfinished business with Paul. These guys have been talking for many, many years about having a match. They've never been able to face each other. It just so happens we're able to make it happen at the first ever Dungeon Supermatch series. Now, this match might be. Now, when I say this, I mean in the best way possible. This match I feel, is going to get very ugly. Now, let me be clear. That's a compliment in the sport of arm wrestling. Both these guys are very sticky at the bottom position, especially right above the pin line. So I see some really twisty positions. Really, I see a lot of potential break arm positions. But good thing these guys are professionals, and they have the right. There's no safety rules, unlike the novice, amateur, and this year we're going to apply the safety rules to the semi-pro. So keep that in mind, guys. If you guys don't want the safety rules, you're gonna have to pull in the pro category. So Carolyn says he began in his garage, COVID times, a strongman with his friend Romark. He created everything from there, and he channel blew up, and opportunities encountered from there. Oh, you're talking about what's his this? I think I know who you're. I didn't see the videos, but now I know you're talking about the strongman. Didn't he win World Strongest Man one year? He placed top 3. I've never seen something, but isn't his nickname like the Dragon or something? Isn't his nickname the Dragon? But yeah, I've never met him, but he's a very strong guy. Maybe we'll have the same thing happen, something, nothing from something into something incredible. Okay, yep. So now I know exactly what we're talking about. Hey, anybody that wins that title has got to be doing something right, There's not many of them out there. I always forget matches. I shouldn't. I always forget matches. There's one I like to talk. I want to talk about all the matches before I get to mine. I think I did talk to all the matches. The ladies, Tim and James, Sam and Brian, Paul and Justin, Paul and James, Ron and Chief 2. And we talked about the Assassin and Sinks. That's 8 matches. We have a 9 total. Now, the last match is going to be some people would even say a circus match. I can see how people think that. Now, there's nothing staged about this match. This match is going to be a real match. The winner will be the better arm wrestler. It's going to be a 1 versus 3. It's going to be myself versus Damien, John, and Andrew. Now, I'm very thankful for these guys for stepping up. Because if it wasn't for these guys stepping up, I would not be able to be a part of this event as an athlete. So I like to talk about this because I like to talk about how this match was born. Because it just kind of fell into place pretty much. So because it's a charity event, we don't have a budget to fly anybody out to pay for their stay. We have a budget of 0. So that being said, everybody, there's only one private sponsor, which was one single athlete. Everyone else is coming on their own dime, their own time, which I'm extremely thankful for. The sacrifices people are making, I'm extremely thankful for. So that being said, I've reached out to opponent to try to find a match, but the tricky thing is that at this level, most people, which I think is fair, it's more than fair. I think, most people want travel and stay, hotel, and we just didn't have the budget to pull that off. But the goal is we will definitely have a budget eventually to get some extremely high level matches. Kalen says 3 versus 1 barn burner. Yep, don't worry, Kalen. If the barn burns, I spent about 2 weeks on the volunteer fire department when I was, I want to say 13 or 14. So we will have trained professionals there in case the barn burns. we'll be all right. It definitely we'll be safe. We'll be safe. Chief has a garden hose somewhere, so we'll be prepared. Um, so I went through many athletes. People not they didn't uh, we didn't meet the requirements. That is why uh, the athletes weren't able to make it. For that level of match. Um, so I was pretty much just about to give up, and I was like, I went through like 30 athletes. Um, but I also did, there were some people that I could have pulled, but they didn't. Those matches didn't excite me. So I want to have a match that is almost, it's exciting, and I want the opponent to be, you know, as intimidating as possible, because I feel that makes the match more fun. Um, but it just so happened that and the attack cats, yep. So if you guys don't know, don't pull any funny business at the dungeon, because any funny business is automatic. We send the cats on you. If you don't know, Chief has highly trained attack cats. These cats are trained to quickly and efficiently eliminate their target. You won't even see it coming. You won't even hear it. It'll just everything will just goes black, and that'll be it. And the cats are even trained to clean up after after they take out a target. They clean everything up. It's very impressive. It's very impressive. Um, uh, but that's how this match was born. So I think I was probably complaining, or saying at the dungeon up at Fitzy's. And I think I'm almost positive, if I remember correctly, it was Damien that first. He said, "Hey man, if you can't find an opponent," I said, "I'll pull you." And then next thing it led to another. We're talking about, what about 1 versus 2? You and John. I said, "Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool." And then we were thinking, what if we might need one more. So I asked Chris Burns. He's also from Mass, but because he's a teacher, he's not able to make it. He has to stay with the kids because they're not able to learn by themselves. So Chris got to stay up there and teach them kids. But that being said, the third man on the team is Andrew. Andrew is, I would definitely say, top. Now, this is a safe bet. He's definitely in the top 10 in Pennsylvania. I would say probably even higher. He's very strong. All these guys are strong. They've beaten me in practice, so they are no joke. I think this is a giant challenge, and I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Kalen says #Damien, #John, #Andrew. The three amigos. They're my friends. They're my friends, but not September 5th. Not September 5th. It's going to be good. Now, I am coming off a tough loss. Very, very tough loss. And that being said, I am not losing twice. I am not losing 2 times in a row. I'm not losing at home field. So it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great time. I agree. It's going to be wars. It's going to be wars. I think all these matches are going to be wars. It's going to be interesting. There might be some flash pins, but all these arm wrestlers are extremely talented. They'll be able to make adjustments with nice counter. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. So the 1 versus 3, the way I win is I need 6 pins on the team of 3. The way they win is they need to get 3 pins on me. The only thing I'm not sure right now is we may have a tag in. Um, so if you guys watch like wrestling, I used to watch wrestling as a kid. They had like something called a tag team match, where in wrestling you just tag them anywhere, then you swap out. Um, but for this match, it's not locked in, but I'm thinking we might give each athlete one tag in. They can use one time. Now it cannot be used in a match, so it has to be once. It could be like say if there's a stoppage or a slip. Say there's a big long match and then a slip. They can tag in after the slip or a stoppage and get a fresh athlete in there. I think we're gonna do that. I think that might be it. Definitely be way more challenging. It will add more strategy. They'll have more options. The team of three, they have more strategy to come up with a game plan. And I also think it'll be more entertaining for the fans. Carolyn says, "Yes, great card. Yeah, I agree. That's a great card. I'm very excited for this. Carolyn likes that idea, the tag team. I'm almost positive we're gonna do it. I'm gonna talk to the guys. Maybe I can get like a group chat. Maybe I'll call them up tonight or sometime we'll get a group chat, talk to them, get a little plan for them. But yeah, I'm excited. Now, one thing I'm going to say right now, back to the circus match is, I can definitely see why they think or they use that word. The reason why I say it's not a circus match is it's a real match. It's not staged. I have seen staged arm wrestling. I do understand why the promoters that have those matches have them. They are trying to appeal to a new crowd of fans. They're trying to get a broader reach. So now the one match that I saw that was staged. Also let me be clear. One athlete I don't think knew it was staged, and that was he wasn't an arm wrestler. He was a slap fighter. The other athlete, I think, definitely knew it was staged. So it ended up being 3-2. One guy won, back and forth, back and forth. The arm wrestlers were all looking at each other. Go, "Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this?" They could. And if you're an arm wrestler, you could definitely tell. It's staged. But that being said, the reason why that the promoters did this is the fans of the new fans, the people that were just fans watching, that had no idea what arm wrestling was, just there to watch. They were going crazy. Like that. The fans were going crazy for that match. So I think there's definitely is some benefit. But that being said, every single match on any of these cards in the future, now and in the future, they will be real matches. There might be more stuff like this with the 1 versus 3 and the stuff like that because it's fun. I think it's fun. So worst case, Ontario says, "Where's Lacko been lately?" So he's been he's been around. He hasn't really been at practice. He has a little injury right now with his wrist. He's got like something going on. He's got like a golf ball, like in the back of his wrist. He's got like a golf ball size welt. It's like this, it's like this big. So either fluid's leaking out or something happened. But he should be at Turtle Man. I know he's busy with what's it called? It's like like public speaking. What's it called? He I forgot the word, but he goes around and helps people with addiction. He does like the public speaking at places. He's even I think he's even doing movies right now. I think he's acting. I think he's doing movies right now. So he's busy. He's busy, but he should be there at Turtle Man. Oh, yep, I agree, Cal. We don't play Northeast. No circus matches here. Sounds like the West Coast style events. Yeah, you gotta watch out for that. For you know that West Coast stuff. Some of that stuff gets real weird. But let's see. So worst case scenario says Corey versus Tim, both hands in dungeon. So I did try to get Tim. Um, Tim is at the level where he. I think it's a fair price. I do think it's a fair price. We just weren't able to make it. Tim, I think he gave me a discount too than what he normally asks. But he wants travel, stay, and I want to say $2,000. I think. Um, Something like that. Don't quote me, but yeah, at that level, something like that's a fair price for at that level. Eventually, definitely in the future, I want to have someone like Tim's level at the events that but we just didn't have the budget to pull it off. But I would definitely. That is a good match, Corey. Father versus son. I had some old videos, probably when Tim and Corey still lived up here. They're probably titled Father versus Son, them going back and forth. Um, I, the funny thing is at least the last time I saw them both and I talked to him, Tim is only righty, and last time is Corey is only lefty. He had a right, his right was injured. Tim will never pull lefty unless it's like a kid or a lady. Um, but if you want a good laugh, but hey, say tell him next time you see Tim, say, hey, Nick Stone says you got a real strong left. Let's do some left arm. He'll give you a look, and he'll probably say, he'll probably call you gay. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Kalen says 3 versus 1, very creative, great idea, Damien. Breakout most talked about match of the future. I agree. I was very worried that people were going to hate this. But it is coming. At least on Facebook and YouTube, it's getting the most attention in terms of like views and likes and comments and stuff like that. So I'm excited. I'm glad that people are liking it. You're gonna have to ask the chief that. It's a personal issue. There was one day. This is how the story goes. One day Chief is sleeping and Tim is staying over, and Chief wakes up and Tim is just standing over him, breathing real heavy, and it really scared the Chief. So that's why Tim's not allowed at Ron's anymore. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. That was all a joke. It seems plausible if you know him, but it's a joke. Um, I think. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. Tim and Ron are definitely really good friends. Um, but yeah, um, let's see. So Carolyn says, Nick, are there any who are good match for you in North America? That now, I think you mean. Do you mean besides? Because right now, my eyes are crossed, but booty twice, but that wise. I think you mean besides. I think unless I'm can't read. Um, yeah, I mean, I've reached Pavlo. I reached out to Pavlo. Withers, Heidelbrick. Um, that's all that comes to mind. I have to go through Facebook, but yeah, it was a lot. It was quite a lot of people. Derek, uh, Leroy Walker, Sue Brown. Uh, yeah, many people. Not because they didn't say, not because they didn't want to pull. It just we didn't meet the requirements for that level of match. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of people out there. Yeah, it's budget wise. Oh, that makes more sense. That definitely makes more sense. Um, so let's see. Let's see. Yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case. Maybe you have to put a little comment on their social media. Maybe that will light a fire and make them want to make the trip. Maybe prove a point kind of thing. But yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. So eventually we will have a budget for high level matches. It's going to be based off of sponsors and pay per view. How much we do in the pay per view. Now this pay per view, we're not. I'm not making anything. The pay per view, YouTube's making something. They take a cut. We're going to give stuff to the athletes, to the referees, and the rest of the charity. Uh, but I'll be able to use the pay per view as a rough judge of what we can expect. You know, because in order to get a match like that, even like we were saying, we're gonna need the pay per view to sell at least 2 or 3 thousand just to be able to afford one match. Um, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. Just needs some time to build up a little snowball effect. Um, so worst case, Ontario says is Topi ranked ahead of you. I am not sure. I think it depends on what ranking you look at. Um, maybe he may not be a super anymore. I think he dropped weight. I mean, I'd pull him. I'd pull him. He's very strong, but I think he dropped down to 240, or he might even be lighter. Last time I saw him, I think he dropped down. But he looked great. He looked shredded, but I don't know if he's a super anymore. But yeah, I don't know if I reached out to him or not. But I'd pull him. I'd definitely pull him. Um, let's see. That's funny. Carolyn says, "Duck to you, quack quack." Oh, I will mention it. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Tell them it's for charity. Tell them it's for charity event. Tell them what's wrong with you. You don't like charity? Let's see. You called out Ryan Epstein and he hopped on the treadmill to get away from you. Maybe. I think I did reach out to Ryan, but he he's focused. He's focusing on weight. Maybe health reasons. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's health reasons. Um, but yeah, when I saw a picture, I was like, "What the?" He looked like he dropped 100 pounds. He might even he went from 400 pounds to 300 pounds. Let's see. Yep, Carolyn, worst case, no doubt. I appreciate that. Hashtag charity. That always gets them. Um, but yeah, um, I might have reached out to Tony too, but Tony's from California. That's a tough trip, you know. Um, but you want to hear something funny? I remember when I first started arm wrestling. No, probably a 2-3. It had to be like after the Jaegers match. I was looking for another match, and I asked, "Hey Tony, you want a match?" I messaged him. You know what I mean? And I think at the time, I wasn't really. I'm still not super well known, but I was definitely less known then. And I think he just thought I was some amateur, some weightlifter, guy that thought he was strong. But yeah, I definitely pull Tony now. Um, it should be a fun match. Well, I would definitely prefer to pull someone, a super heavyweight. Um, I don't really want to pull anybody that's smaller than a super heavyweight. Because I'm tired of people calling me a bully, you know. But yeah, man, cutting weight, they're nervous. They're nervous. I had a similar. Well, there's lots of moving parts. When I first started arm wrestling around here, there were a lot of super heavyweights. Um, I, very well sized super heavyweights. Now I am the only super heavyweight in the state. Um, so I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but I am the only super heavyweight in the state of Connecticut. Um, so by default, I'm number one. I'll take it. Let's see. Yeah, man. I feel you, Vincent. Too many big dogs. You know, what's that old big dog quote? What's a What's that funny big dog quote? It's like something with like, if you can't piss off the porch, stay out of the. I don't know. So it'll come to me. It'll come to me. If anyone knows that funny old dog quote with the piss on the porch, let me know if you guys know that. Hey man, I'm looking forward to it, man. You got the size, you're dedicated, you're hungry, and I look forward to seeing you up there. I'm not gonna be as nice as I am now. I'm gonna try to probably hurt you, but I think that's what you would like. Anything other than that would be disrespectful to your opponent. I feel. So I look forward to it. It's gonna be a good time. Let's see. Worst case Ontario says, isn't there a good lefty out of California, bench presser, and owns a gym? Starts with a Mendelson, I think. You talking about Scott Mendelson, the power lifter? I mean, he's fucking strong. I tell you what. But on the table, I don't think he would have the best day with my style and his style. But as a powerlifter, he was one of my favorite powerlifters. When I first started, I liked to watch the many videos. If I'm not mistaken, Scott Mendelson is. If we're talking about the same Mendelson, if you mean Scott, but I think he's in California. He is if I'm not mistaken, he's still the only human to hold a raw bench press and an equipped bench press at the same time, which that might be there for a long time, especially now everyone hates, multiply lifting and stuff like that. I did both, raw powerlifting and multiply. Actually, mine was unlimited, so anything goes. That was my favorite division, was the unlimited, where you could do anything you wanted pretty much. Well, in terms of equipment, anything goes. There's no special rules. I know in power, one a crazy rule that blows my mind when I first heard it, and I couldn't believe it was real. Now, I can't remember if it's the IPF. It's something like that. There's an organization in powerlifting where you have to wear tidy whities and they have to be a certain brand. And the judges come over and they check your tidy whities and make sure you're not cheating, because if you have different tidy whities, you get too much support. But that's a real rule. I think it's the IPF. Don't quote me. I think, but yeah, some weird. Not in the ones I compete. You can wear any underwear you wanted in the ones I competed in. But I never competed in any organization that required me to wear tidy whities. That was a little bit of a red flag for me, you know? Might be some of those judges might be a little touch happy, if that makes sense. Let's see. So, worst case Ontario says any overseas talent you'd want. Yeah, man, I'd want to pull everybody. Let's see. The first one that comes to mind is Kamil Jablonski. We had we did after pulling, and Kamil goes, he goes, oh, let's pull slow. And I go, all right, we'll pull slow. And he goes, no, let's hook. So he takes his other hand, he puts us in a hook, and he goes, let's hook. And then he goes, while we're pulling slow, he proceeds to throw a cheap shot. He slammed you. He goes, let's pull slow. And then, 2 seconds later, he throws a hit. And when he comes back up, he goes, he looks at me, he goes, not at my level. So Kamil Jablonski is definitely on the radar. I'm gonna get him one day. And I know exactly what I'm gonna say to him when I get him. And you'll have to find out. We'll find out together. But it's gonna be good. But yeah, I'll pull any of those guys, to be honest. I definitely prefer a super heavyweight. Kamil was the first one to come to mind. Should be interesting. I might need a little more time. But if I was getting a match, I'd take it right now. But honestly, I might need a little more time for that top level, top 10 in the world level. But that being said, if I was offered a match, I would definitely take it. I want to pull, I'm going to say his fucking name wrong, Mate Tarangi, the number one guy from New Zealand. I want to pull him. Yeah, there's a whole bunch. I mean, I would, yeah, there's pretty much anybody really. Learning the part, yeah, Vincent. That's the fun part. Just gotta learn, keep the learning going. Yeah, Mead was a bench press only, but I tell you what, when you're benching 1,200 pounds, more than most powerlifters full total, he can do whatever he wants. Let's see, get the Fruit of the Loom shit out of here. Yeah, man, I tell you what, man. This is a free country. You can wear any underwear you want, as long as they're washed, they're clean. That's the only thing I just don't want to be smelling them from 10, 20 feet away, Fruit. Unlimited, anything goes, tag team, original. Those are some good hashtags. The way of the future. Trust me, Dexter Tan is weighed down in the reeds of production and Korean athletes. You have the right ideas, Nick. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Worst case in Ontario says, is Ford from Singapore a lefty? I am not familiar with. Maybe I am. Maybe who you talking about? Ford. What are you talking about? GH. What's the GH abbreviation mean? Hey, what's up, Drew? Perfect timing. You came just perfect timing for me to remind you that September 6th in Connecticut, Turtle Man 2. I would definitely recommend take the trip. There's probably a good airport in Nevada somewhere. But if you can't make it, there's a pay per view, and also next year. Start your planning for the third annual Turtle Man Classic. But hey, Drew, thanks for watching. I appreciate that. Yeah. Everyone loves to. Carolyn says, wow, Camille, everyone loves to hate that guy. I can see why now. Does FTG mean fuck that guy? I think, right? I'm not good with abbreviations for texting. I know a lot, a good amount of them. I know, like, let me know, LMK. I use that one quite a bit. But yeah, it's definitely a matter. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, Kevin says Drew's late. Better late than never. As long as he's at Turtle Man 2, that's all that matters. Drew says Kaylin the Great. I agree. She's great. Oh, we got one of those grammar, what do they call them? Grammar Nazis? Is that what they're called? Hopefully, don't read my text or my messages because I got a lot of those. You're gonna be busy with those. A lot of corrections. So if you're, I guess if you're bored, feel free to go back and read some of my messages and let me know all the misspelled stuff I got in there. There's quite a bit. Yep. Natty. Oh, I must be way behind. Oh, I'm catching up on the chats. Yeah, Carolyn. Yeah, versus Matarangi. Should be interesting. Should be very interesting. I feel like he's super sticky, and he's getting. Last time I saw him, he looked twice as good as when he pulled Toshiaki Shishido. He looked twice as good. His last. Who did he pull? Oh, he pulled the Brazilian dude. Gabby's husband. I forget his name, but that's who he pulled. And he's good. I mean, he's good. He's good. Did great. Oh, Mike Ford is from Asia. Oh, okay. Yeah, man. I think I'd pull him. I'd definitely pull him. That'll do it. I see. But Mike Ford is from Malaysia. Well, either way, man, I'd definitely pull him. He looks pretty good. He looks strong. He looks pretty big. Is he at least 300 pounds? He looks like he could be easily 300 pounds. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Matt, the spelling it out is probably not going to help me say his name any better, but Matarangi Morris. Now, that's probably just my American accent. If anyone from New Zealand is wondering why I said it wrong, it's just an accent. Yeah, but I definitely pull him. Very strong. Fun guy to hang out in the after pulls. You want to hear a funny story about Matarangi? So we're after the event. He had his match. We're at the event after party. Some people are drinking and hanging out. I had a cigar. Once I have like a 1 or 2 cigars a year, so I had a cigar. So we're chilling outside and we're all talking, and all of a sudden, just 3 random guys start walking down the street, and Matarangi starts sizing him up. He says his chest blows up, starts sizing him up. Everyone starts laughing, and he thinks he's joking, but that guy, he wanted to beat the crap out of those guys just for I don't even know. He said, what did he say? I don't remember the exact words, but he said to me, he said, those guys fucking want it. Like, something like that with his accent. everyone starts laughing, and I was like, this guy's real. He really wants to fight these guys. Just he's all amped up. So I said, no, 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 no. They're our friends. They're just regular Americans, just minding their own business. But I think I was the only person that knew that he was really. He would have, if they walked any closer, he probably would have fought those guys. Let's see. Worst case Ontario. Nobody likes a grandma Nazi Jew. There's definitely some pros, there's definitely some pros. If it wasn't for them, how would I know how to spell? That's the only way I learn. So let's see. Yes, it does. Nick LOFTG, aka fuck that guy, is a 98 Ryan Gordon term. Oh boy, you gotta watch out for that 98. You gotta watch out. Spelt wrong for fun. Yeah, sometimes it's fun to spell wrong, especially if it's gonna, get under someone's skin or something like that. Sometimes it's fun. Carolyn says, Drew, I'll let you off as you are one of the West Coast buddies. I don't know, man. I don't know about better schools, but I heard something. Wasn't it in California? They were putting litter boxes in the schools' bathrooms. So you got to be careful. You got to pick your schools wisely out there. Some are good. Some are full litter boxes. Oh, yep. Victor Muniz. Yep. Now I remember. Yeah, I'm not the best with names. But I'm good with face. I always remember face, but I always forget names. Like, for example, when I was younger, I had when I first started lifting from always, after high school, 18 to, 20. So 2 years. I lifted with a guy 3 times a week for 2 years, and I still didn't remember his name. Now I do. Now I definitely do. But I'm not the best with names. Whoop. Did we lose something? Oh, I think we're back. So Carolyn says, Drew, we need a big name for Nick. As long as it's a good one. Sometimes the worst nickname ever is definitely Jerry Cataracts. The Brokeback Mountain I think that's what Neil calls him. I think that's what he calls him or something like that. Or he used to call him. I think Jerry said you can't call me that gay movie thing, whatever that movie was. I think that's what that nickname is from, Let's see. Drew had being the keyword. Yeah, right. Used to be. Jerry definitely said, Neil, cut the shit off. People are getting the wrong idea. Nickname is Manitor, right? Should be. If not, that's a pretty good one. Broke back wrist. Oh, yep, that's what it was. The broke back wrist. Half human, half beast. It's very interesting. That's actually that's a logo. The Minotaur is actually the logo for the Team Stone. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So that's the Minotaur. My my tattoo guy drew that up for me years ago. So that's a hand-drawn picture that we put on the thing. Oh, am I still zoomed in? Oh, no, never mind. But yeah, it should be interesting. The story of, I don't know too much of Greek mythology, but the story of the Minotaur was a creature created out of hatred and spite, and that's how the Minotaur was born. It's very interesting story if you ever want to read the real how the Minotaur was created. What's mirrored? What's mirrored? The logo? Or is my screen mirrored? What are you talking about? Maybe I'm missing something. True. Yeah, man, it's a good nickname. I definitely, that's a good one. That's a good one. There's a couple guys on our team that I can't say their nickname because I'll probably get blocked or what is it? What's it called? Demonetized. So if we're in person and you want to know those nicknames, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So you video the camera, yes, everything's backwards. So like just the letters, that's what you're talking about. Like instead of saying Team Stone, it's looks like it's dyslexic or something. I cannot say Peasley's nickname, man. I wish I could. But if I said his nickname, the FBI would definitely raid his house. He'd be in a lot of trouble. So I can't, we're still teammates, even though, he dropped out of the match. So I gotta at least protect him a little bit. But if we are in person, I will tell you the nickname. Can't be any cameras. Just like I said, Peasley's house might be raided if it ever gets out. Let's see. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to follow. Some people are book smart, some people are street smart, and some people got none. I'm somewhere in between. Yeah, man. Worst case scenario. What's your real name if you feel comfortable telling? Because I feel like have we ever met in person or no? Have you just following? You've just been following Stone TV, because you seem to know quite a bit from the team. Yeah, man. I tell you what. Oh no, the shit they find on the laptop. They'll get him. They'll get him one day. Justice will be served. But that being said, I can't tell you his nickname. Not on camera. You don't understand? It's like looking into a mirror. Your camera view stream for us. It's mirrored. Oh, left to right switched. Your right looks like your left. Oh, okay. I don't know if I could do anything about that. Maybe that's just how it is. But I appreciate that. So let's talk. We talked about some T-shirts. There's pre-orders available. They go for $30. That money is 100% given to the charity. Shipping is optional, but you guys will have to pay for the shipping as well. We're running low on some shirts, some sizes. Oh wow, man! I appreciate that. West Coast, Worst Case Ontario says we haven't met. I'm from South Dakota. I've been following since 2020. Wow, man! I appreciate that. That's a long time. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you very much. But maybe I will see you September 6th at Turtle Man 2. Maybe that will be our first meetup at the tournament. Hopefully you can make it. So worst case is long enough to know everybody, I guess. So that's good for some, and that's bad for others. Some characters I'm glad you got to know, and other characters, my apologies. But yeah, definitely appreciate that. Worst Case Ontario. So we talked about the T-shirts. We also do have some straps, some nice arm wrestling straps. So Team Stone. It's got a nice buckle on it. These go for $20. but keep this in mind. At Turtle Man, for in person, there will be a in-person sale where it's a buy one get one half off, and that's only at Turtle Man. So keep that in mind. Also, too, if you guys bought a strap previously and you guys bring the strap to Turtle Man, you will also still get that buy one get one. Even if you bought one in the past, you will still get that discount only in person at the Turtle Man 2 event. Let's see. Before worst case Ontario says, before I followed the dungeon through Philip Hertz. Did you ever meet him? No, I never met Philip Hertz. What year was that? What year was it had to be before then, because I didn't start arm wrestling until 2020 pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, because I powerlifted until I won the Arnold 2019, so yeah, it must have been must have started 2020. Let's see. Oh, Bo, welcome to the show. Thanks for watching. He says, yeah, Philip, just welcome a baby. Oh, wow. So he's from 2016. Yeah, I was still a powerlifter. I was still a powerlifter at that time. So I'm sure I've heard stories of Philip before. I'm sure guys, I may have. There might be pictures of him up at the wall. You know, there might be pictures of him up somewhere. So we talked about the t-shirts, the pre-orders. The signups for the tournament, 8 to 11. One thing for the tournament that is not locked in. We may have video review for the tournament. It's not locked in. But the way it's going to work is if you guys want a video review, you must put down $50. If you are right, the call is reversed and you get your money back. But if you are wrong, the money goes to the charity. The reason for that $50 is for the time that it takes to stop the event, out of respect for everyone's time. Also, too, we'd have, might have too many reviews. Every single thing would be reviewed if that was the case. Vincent says, thanks for getting on and sharing, everyone. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. Bo says, you never met Philip? Yeah, man, I never, I don't think I ever met Philip. I don't think I've ever met a Philip in person. So I didn't come to the dungeon until 2020. Kalen says, hashtag TurtleMan2. Great hashtag, great tournament, great cause, and it's going to be lots of fun. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any more questions about anything we talked about, the tournament, super matches, athletes, starting time. Oh, so Bo is telling me right now that I've never met him. I appreciate that, Bo. I needed that reassurance. That's nice of you. I just thought you happened to forget a question mark, but you didn't. So you're good. Yeah, I never met him. Was he a super heavyweight, or was he a smaller guy? Worst case Ontario says, is Ron reffing? You mean the super matches. So he is not reffing the super matches. He will probably be one of the referees at Turtle Man. But our referees are for the super matches are going to be referees that have no affiliation with anybody on the card. So there's no, uh, no bias to teammates. So all the referees on the card have no teammates on the event. Hey, what's up, David? Thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching. Bo says Phillips 180 pounds. Okay, so that's not bad, It's not bad. Worst case Ontario 220. Oh, okay. Carolyn says, "Hail the High Chief. Hope he sits on the throne for night after his 2 great wins." That is a possibility. That definitely is a possibility. But I know Black Ice is going to do everything in his power to not let that happen. So it's going to be a absolute fireworks show. But instead of fireworks, it's going to be arm wrestling, and it's going to be awesome. David says, "Will we see you at Mac sometime?" Yeah, man. I would definitely pull Mac. I was supposed to pull Rich Heidelbrick last year. Well, I was offered the match, but it was on the same day as a celebration of life party for my grandfather, and I wasn't going to miss that. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it due to the celebration of life party. But it's only a matter of time. I like a lot of things Mac is doing. I've only wrestled on that table real quick, just to feel it out. One thing before, if I get a match on Mac, I want to get one of those tables because I want to practice on that table. But yeah, I definitely pull Mac. Let's see. Kalen says David Jensen, hey Zach, and Dakota were amazing at the Armageddon, weren't they? Is that the Mac event or is that something different? The Armageddon. Let's see. So if you guys buy the pay-per-view, so it's under the paid membership, you will get, besides getting the opportunity just to watch the matches, which is it's huge. It's going to be great. You're going to get with the membership, you get as long as you still continue to sign up for it, you will get a discount to all Team Stone merchandise, as well as coaching services. So keep that in mind. So stuff like T-shirts and straps, you get a discount. And you can use it as many times as you want. As long as you're a member to the Stone TV channel. Let's see. Let's see. Try to scroll up, make sure I didn't miss any of these the chats. So Bo asked, weight allowance for clothes on weigh-ins. So for the tournament, the professionals, there is 0 clothing allowance. There's no clothing allowance for the pro division. We're still figuring it out, but for the amateurs, novice, and semi-pro, there's probably going to be 1 pound, somewhere 1 to 3 pound range. But for pros, there is 0 clothing allowance. The reason for that is there's a lot on the line for the pros. Besides the Golden Turtle, that alone is enough bragging rights. But if you win the overall, only pros are entered. you will be guaranteed a spot at the next pay-per-view event. So that's why there's no clothing allowance for the professionals, the pro category. Other categories will a minimum 1 pound, maximum of 3, but we're still deciding. But Bo, you're a pro, so no clothing allowance. So let's see. Worst case scenario says, do you think Chief will throw the tomahawk at Ice, or does he like him too much? Nope. I definitely Chief will throw the tomahawk at anybody. His own mother, he'll tomahawk her. It's one of his favorite moves. It's one of my favorite moves. It's one of my favorite moves to watch. I hope at least one tomahawk is pulled, thrown. It's a great. It's an awesome, entertaining move. But it doesn't matter how much Chief likes someone. He'll definitely throw the tomahawk at him. Oh, okay, all right. So the Armageddon was the event in Montana. I think I saw some clips of that. Looked like a great turnout. So worst case, Ontario says Shipton manhandled Ryan Bussier. I should know them, but for some reason I'm not familiar with those athletes. But yes, I'll have to check that match out. So Carolyn says Armageddon is in Montana. Canada versus North America. I watched Through the Finger podcast with Brian Parliament, Zach Murno, and Dakota Shipton, the premier Canadian podcast. Great guys, and you can learn. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. It's always fun when they do a little, team versus team arm wrestling. It's always fun. So Bo says Bo with 8 zeros. 8, not zeros, they're O's. Could be confused for zeros depending on how you look at it. Learn a lot. Favorite channel. Yeah, there's a lot of great channels out there. I definitely appreciate you watching mine. There's a lot of great channels to pick out. So I definitely appreciate you spending the time on this channel. Thank you very much. So Bo, we're gonna have to. There's definitely a clothing rule. If you have to, you could strip down a little bit for the weigh-ins. But when you're at the table, you're gonna have to minimum wear pants. Shorts, pants. If you want to, no shirts, cool, but pants and shorts. That's the minimum. This is a family event. Saturday is going to be more family friendly. Friday is going to be more R-rated. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. So let's see. Oh, my phone is running low. Well, I got about 15%. So I'm going to go on for a little bit longer. This is definitely the longest live I've done. But it was a fun one. It's definitely fun. We're definitely going to be on for a little longer. I've definitely been taking my time with this pre-workout. I got about a quarter left. Let's see. So let's see. Carolyn says he sure did. David, he said it was a second choice arm, and Zach opponent wouldn't even speak after match. And a backflip before the match. That's impressive. Any arm wrestler that can do a backflip is probably one of the most athletic arm wrestlers out there. Hey, what's up, Brian? Hello, Earthlings. He says, good here in Northern New York. Turtle time, training and learning. Yeah, man, I'm excited for Turtle Man. I hope, I know we talked before, but I think you said you were going, right? You said you're definitely going. I can't remember if you said you're going, if you got something going on. But if not, you should definitely get to the second annual Turtle Man Classic. Let's let's see. Just make sure I didn't miss any of these comments. So worst case, Ontario says they may have a lefty match you'd like out of the Reader Club. Let's see. Well, you picked the perfect time, Brian. So Brian says, I just got here, and why are we taking clothes off? Nude arm wrestling? No nude arm wrestling. Don't listen to Bo. There's a rule. You must wear shorts at a minimum. Shorts, pants, must be shorts. We can probably make exceptions for some of the ladies. We'll make some exceptions, but there's pants rules. He was making a joke about there's no clothing allowance for the pro class because there's a lot on the line. There's going to be a 1 to 3 pound clothing allowance for AMs, semi, and novice, but the pro class for the tournament, there is no clothing allowance. I've never even, I'm a super heavyweight, so, usually, my weight class doesn't even have numbers, it just has letters, but I've never understood clothing allowances. I never understood them. Why don't they just add 3 pounds to the weight class? From any other sport, I've never even heard of a clothing allowance. Powerlifting, there's no clothing allowance. So it's interesting. I think the clothing allowance, maybe I'm wrong, but my first thought, the clothing allowance was created by promoters to get more people in the class. Make some more money, which is a smart idea for a promoter. But I think it's why even have the weight class if you're just gonna. But we're gonna do best of both. Pros, 0 clothing allowance. 178 or 176. You gotta weigh 176, not 179. You gotta weigh 176. If you're 220, you gotta weigh 220. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Let's see. Karen says, worst case, yes, and through the fingers can stream 2 channels live via OBS. Well, that sounds like they got something going on with the technology. Oh, next year, yep. Start your planning now for the 3rd annual Turtleman Classic. Because you're not allowed to miss. You're not allowed to miss events. You miss one, but you can't miss one next year. That's the rule. It's a little friendly rule we created. Brian says, "LOL, I've been wearing my big boy pants." I definitely appreciate that. I'm gonna bring an extra pants for everybody in case anyone gets a little crazy. So there'll be backup pants, lots of backup pants in case anything crazy happens. Let's see. If I were Zach's opponent, I would have yelled to the crowd, "Want to see a double backflip?" and threw up the 2-handed bird. The good old reverse bird. That's a good move. It's a good move. It catches people off guard. Yeah, I agree with you. Brian says he wrestled in high school level. Weigh-ins should be accurate. Yeah, I definitely agree. I've never heard of a clothing allowance until I got into arm wrestling, and it wasn't even until like 2-3 years ago maybe that I've started seeing it. But yeah, pro class, we're gonna have true classes, semi-pro, novice, amateur. There's going to be either a 1 pound. It's probably going to be like a 1 pound. I don't know if I'm going to give 3 pounds because, that might be too much. You know what I mean? 1 pound might be enough. Kaylin says, worst case. Oh, that's a great comeback. Yeah, that's a good one. That's always a good comeback. Let's see. Brian says, nah, keep it 3. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Talk to the guys, see what's up. It'll be somewhere between 1 and 3. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I don't think I'm forgetting anything that I wanted to talk about. Talked about the tournament, Tournament 2, the only place on Earth to get the legendary golden turtles. There's only one place on Earth. This is just a demo. This is just the demo. But this is the only place on Earth to get the golden turtle. Let's see. I step on scale during my workday. I simply subtract 3. To plan out for the clothing allowance. That's what you're saying? Oh, what's up, James? Holy, yeah, 2 hours, man. I'm just as surprised as you. I guess with with the match coming up, I got some, because I'm not training super hard right now. I'm just doing some, some blood flow stuff. This would usually either Sunday or Monday would be a real heavy day for lifting for me. 3 or 4 hours, of hard training. So I guess, with just doing a recovery, I got some time. But James, how you feeling for your match? Still feeling good? I know I asked you a couple days ago. I'm going to ask you again. How you feeling for your match with Paul? He's looking strong, but so are you. Carolyn, hashtag TurtleMan2. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. If you guys don't know, Carolyn is the first ever member to Stone TV. She's the first ever one. So she has unlimited bragging rights. So she's number 1. I appreciate that. Oh, have a good one, Brian. He says, have a great day, everyone. Gotta go. Be well. Have a good one, man. Thanks for watching. I'm definitely, I think I've been saying this for the last hour. I'm gonna wrap up very soon. So if you guys have any questions for me, let me know. So let's see, 3 to 4 hours training. That's what's up. I'm here for the learning gains, like the lemons for tendons and pre-workout. Yeah, I got lazy today. I didn't have any lemons, so I just doing the old the energy drink, But definitely I like the natural one is way better. But these energy drinks are definitely addicting, But yeah, the vitamin C is great for tendons. No clothing allowance, James. You're a professional. We just talked about this. You're a super matches. There's 0 clothing allowances for the super matches. You gotta weigh 242 or whatever the athletes agreed on. Yeah, so we'll be good. If we gotta go someplace, away from cameras to do weigh-ins, we'll do whatever the UFC thing where they hold up towels and stuff like that or whatever. But I think you'll be good. I appreciate that, Carolyn. She says, great live. As always, I'll be at work and watch after the live this coming week. Thank you very much. Well, James, you missed it, but we have a pants rule, a newly established pants rule. So at a minimum, you must have either shorts or pants on. And that's the minimum. Otherwise, we are going to send the attack cats on you. If you don't know, the attack cats are very serious. You do not want to mess with them. You won't even see it coming. You'll just go from being here to gone. James, I'll tell you what. He's asking about, he says, what? No banana hammocks? I'm starting to regret having you on this card, James. Talking about banana hammocks. So there's a new rule. there's another new rule. No banana hammocks are permitted within, let's say, 500 feet of the event. 500 feet. That sounds like a safe one. Yeah, man, I feel you. You know, it's probably not what you wanted to hear, but it's more of a safety reason. You know, there's going to be some innocent people there, innocent bystanders that, you know, I gotta try to protect. You know, but you know, in your own home, you could do whatever you want. So enjoy yourself, James. You know. Let's see. Talked about matches. Today I'm just gonna be doing recovery lift, a little full body. You know, a little circuit. You know, nothing crazy. You know, I'm not lifting. Mostly cables, body weight stuff. You know, just lubricating the joints up, moving blood around, stuff like that. I call them ghost pulls. I got the idea years ago from watching a Travis Bajent video of he was just, you know, on the table by himself, just, you know, pretending he's pulling, you know, doing ready goes, pretending. I call them ghost pulls. I think they have a benefit. They're good for like if you need to work on timing with low risk of not fatigue, damage, being ripped open. That's good. You know, you can do a million of those things, and you know you're not gonna have any damage done to your arm. Yeah, man. So you can weigh in. You can weigh in whatever you want. Like if you gotta, you know, go down to the underwear or whatever, that's fine for weigh-ins. Just yeah, just make sure you put your pants back on for the match. You know, because I don't want people. I don't want people being scared. You know, some people might be scared. It might draw some people in, but I guess we'll never know. Yeah, man. We'll have a private spot where you can weigh in if you gotta, you know, drop some layers or something like that. That is the reason why the pants rule is created. We don't want them to. We just got them out. We just got them out. You know, so we got to be careful. We don't want them sneaking back in. But it's gonna be good. So we talked about the t-shirts, the pre-orders, the straps, the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view is going to be on the YouTube membership. It goes for $9.99. The money is going to YouTube. Takes a cut. I think YouTube takes like 30%. I think maybe more. I got to double check. Whatever is left after YouTube takes their cut, we're going to give money to the athletes, give money to the referees, and give money to the charity. So out of all this, everything going on, the only money that is not 100% given to the charity is the pay-per-view. It will be divided up. Athletes, referees, YouTube takes a chunk, and it will also be given to the charity as well. So keep that in mind, guys. The overalls, I know I said this before, but I said again, the winners of the overalls, there's going to be 2 winners, left and right. They will be guaranteed a spot on the next pay-per-view event. They'll be guaranteed a match. So keep that in mind. In order to get the location for the dungeon, the location of the super matches, if you know it's kind of like an invite only spot, you know, a secret training facility. So if you know where the dungeon is located, you are more welcome to just show up and buy your ticket that day. But if you do not know where the dungeon is located, you're gonna have to buy your tickets first, and then once the tickets are purchased, I'll send the address. We're asking people not to share the address unless people want to buy tickets, or if you're involved with the if you're an athlete, a referee, something like that. That's different. But don't be putting the address up on Facebook kind of thing, because it's invite only spot. The dungeon. You'll see once you get there. You'll see. But let's see what else is there. I think that might be all the talking I can do. Is 2.5 hours. We broke our record for a live by like an hour, which is that's off to a pretty good start. Definitely getting more comfortable at doing lives. The first one was like 20 minutes, and I had to hop off. Now we're at 2.5, so we're getting there. Definitely nowhere near the level of I think the 98s live sometimes go for like 24 hours or something like that. That's impressive. But oh, wow, I appreciate that. That's nice. Yes, this is incredible. Better than Elite FTS, Dave Tate's fame. Yeah, Dave Tate is a very good powerlifter. He's well known. He's been doing some good stuff in powerlifting. I actually have one of their monoliths. That's an Elite FTS monolift right there for powerlifting, heavy duty squat. So they make some good stuff, and they got the lifetime warranty on it. So that's always nice. But hey, guys, I'm gonna go for another 30 more seconds, so until 2 hours and 33 minutes. And then I'm going to hop off. So you guys have any more questions, let me know. Worst case scenario says the only thing drawing PZ back is a warm hole with a loose morals. Yep, that might be it, man. That might be it. Gaining ground. It says gaining ground. But guys, let's see. Oh. All right, guys. I think that's it. That's 2 hours and 33 minutes. Everyone that watched, thank you very much. Everyone that shared, thank you very much. Remember, Turtle Man 2, September 6th, Steel Beach Gym. And Friday, Friday is the super matches, real quick. So there's no need for pants rule then. No, we're definitely having that rule. Safety issue. But nice try, James. Nice try. Yep. Thanks, man. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Vincent. Happy Labor Day. Carolyn says, day one and all strong work. Nick, thank you very much. All right, guys. I'll see you around, and then enjoy your day.